What's up, y'all? That is a tune called Roger Sherlock's. Also goes by the name The Noisy Curlew, which I think is how I learned it originally. Heard it from a kind of obscure recording of Seamus, Egan, and Eileen Ivers playing together. And then I played it around here in the Nashville session a lot with a good friend of mine named Bill Wolf, and he knew it as Roger Sherlock's. Anyway, let's break this one down. You can play this on the whistle, obviously, no problem at all. The flute does have some advantages on this tune, particularly with some breath, rhythmic kind of things that you can do, which we'll get to at the end of it. First section, I'll run that again. Hopefully the wheels are turning on ornaments options for those repetitive notes, which of course we shall get to. Run that whole phrase there, going all the way up and back again. Get that? Play the whole A part all the way through. Cool. B part jumps up high, and it's got some kind of cool rhythmic things, which we'll get to. Run that section again. Next bit sort of repeats, and then, as is usually the case, finishes a little slightly different. Do that again. Second section goes all the way down. It's kind of walking down a D chord, basically. I'll do that again. Sort of a D triad, really. Then it repeats. First half of this section is the same as how we started the B part. Same section. And to finish, it's a little bit different. Did you catch that? It's a lot of jumping around. I'll run that again. Probably need to run that phrase a couple of times. It's kind of the hook to it. Make sure you get that locked down. Ornaments. I mentioned as we were running the A part at the beginning of this that there's some good spots right in the beginning. Anytime you get those repetitive notes, always a good chance to throw in something. So what I would do, just quick short rolls there. And then cutting that A. And as I land, when I land on the E and I'm going to be sitting there for a second, I like to pretty much always tap that one, that kind of crossing noise tap. And as I land on the D, coming back around to kind of repeat that phrase, popping that top finger off. I've demonstrated that on the whistle probably a whole bunch. That's kind of the move there. There's a cool little bubbly sound. I think it sounds kind of neat. So jumping up the scale, I really don't do anything until I get to the very highest note. I do repeat that same short roll that I did. Cutting that F sharp. Otherwise, nothing there other than tonguing. As we kind of fall down the stairs there, that's how I visualize it anyway. I'll sort of bounce each one of those. Again, that idea of falling down. Each one of those gets sort of an extra bonus grace note. And then up tempo. That's how I do it anyway. Now, where the flute really shines, particularly on the A part, is the amount of rhythmic punch you can get from your breath. So rather than all kind of the same, where you can really just punch those low D notes, those really sharp, bitey kind of notes. Easily overdone, but if you do it right, I think it's got a really nice effect, and it's something that's kind of unique to the instrument. B part is very twisty. It kind of floats around that F sharp to A range. So it's really, you're only kind of moving about 3 notes there. Landing on the G, and I'll usually cut the highest note. I'll cut that A. Nice roll on G. Cutting the A and the G. So again, we're talking about 3 notes, and there's a lot of movement between them, but not a lot of range, so you got to find some interesting ways to pick your beats, pick your accents, and that's how I would do it. You could, as you come back to that, you could do a crossing noise, sort of a tap, as you land on that F sharp. I don't know, sounds kind of neat. That phrase is, again, I mentioned that's kind of the hook, and that's where if you have a keyed flute, you can get a little bit of an extra advantage. Not required, but if you've got one, just hitting that G sharp, you know, it gives you a little bit more control than you would just from a slide. You can fake it with a slide, not quite the same. Falling down that phrase, again, I would do that double tap, so from the higher octave. I'm usually, every time I land on one of those F sharps, if I'm descending like that, I'm probably doing that double tap pop kind of thing. Or, as you land on the D from the F sharp, same popping kind of thing. I tend to use this finger a bunch, I guess. The other thing you might try, if you do have a keyed flute, if you have this F natural key, rather than that opening phrase, something like that, a little bit of blue notes, things like that I like to mix in whenever I get the chance. I think it sounds kind of cool. Entirely optional. You can play this perfectly well on the whistle, on a keyless flute. But again, I think the flute has that extra punch that you get from the ability to control the attack of the notes with your embouchure, with your diaphragm. Really punching some of those notes can add a really cool rhythmic effect, I think. And this tune kind of calls out for it, at least to my ear anyway. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.